Going. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I'm getting it all in place. It's been a while since I've had all of this up in this type of area. Get it all together. And there we go. I should have it all like I need it now. And I can come over and say to Mia, hello, Love Pugs, Dr. Evales, Melissa, A Truther, and to all y'all that popped in. I think was there a trucking stuff. If you made it, what's up? If you're out and you catch the replay, you can hear it over and over. What's up? And to Kevin Fugel fam, the Brits are coming. Let's get the tea warmed up. Yeah, well, that's just kind of a there you are. That's just kind of a little funny thing. I seen that little meme where it said the British are coming, put up the gun-free zone signs and run to your safe space, and I thought, wow, that is so right now. Hey there, Sea Clear, how are you doing? Look, I don't have a whole list of links in the description because, well, quite frankly, they're mainstream. You can find them just by looking at the news. I have one link I might share. I'll share in the chat here or there. I don't know. I'm really just going to kind of, I guess, voice my opinion. Lynette, good to see you. Rapunzel, some more people coming in here. Good to see y'all. Endangered Species. Love all you guys and appreciate y'all hanging out with me on I think it's Saturday afternoon. The days kind of get away from me sometimes. I was going to come on and stream a couple of days ago, but I've had some issues dealing with my mom and the place she's living, and not a bad place. I do a lot of work there, and they do help me with some things they shouldn't under their circumstances, and they know how I feel about all this. I'm very, very clear that this is all a big farce, but we'll get to that anyway. I wanted to address something really quick because I want to talk about it. Well, I don't know. I just got so much building up in my head. I'm really just here venting. I guess this will be my therapy session. I actually one time got some advice from Richie from Boston to not be so angry. Let that sink in for a second. Rocky USA, what's up? Good to see all of you guys. Think about that. Richie from Boston, after watching a live stream of mine, went on and said, hey man, I got some advice for you. Don't be so angry. So, yeah, let that sink in. So I've tried to cut back on it a little bit. I try to lighten it up with a little bit of humor. And I think any of y'all that have paid attention to my streams for any amount of time know that I have done my best not to promote a spirit of fear during this time. Now, I have been very, very vocal that this is all Agenda 21. It's all the ID 2020, and you can go back and listen to my streams over the past few months. And if anybody listens to me on DLive, those guys have been hearing it kind of nightly up until here a few weeks ago when I got sick and had to take a night off. I've said it over and over, and I stream about the technology over and over there. And I'm trying to get it to where I can stream both all the time. It's just so much for me to do. Like I said, we're building a lot bigger garden this year than we usually do. I feel like we're going to need it. And my wife felt like we were going to need it, and she said do it, and I said yes, ma'am. That's kind of the way the garden works. I'm told what to do, and I'm glad to do it that way. Let's see, what else do we get to? Oh, yeah, I get it. Oh, you don't have to apologize for not being over at DLive. It's kind of like this. There's a whole lot of people over on DLive that they're YouTube streamers. They're YouTubers. Well, I'm neither really, but I started on DLive. So I really enjoyed it, even though I was just going to use it for learning, and it was fun, and we built up a really great group of people. Rick Swain, Mike D, guys, good to see y'all coming in here. We built up a really good group of people and it became enjoyable for me. Survival living, good to see you, man. So that's really why I go over there every night. It has nothing to do with it has nothing at all to do with, oh, YouTube censoring me or this or that. I got in trouble for a YouTube video. I found out why. Legally, I was probably in the wrong to have used a whole video, even if it was from a news article. I read the copyright law. I learned how to do it. So, I don't even know where I was going with all that. I have so much going on. Yeah, I was talking about the ID 2020 stuff way back. I was trying to tell them, but here's the thing. I don't know, but the people who need to see me, maybe they're the ones that need to see me. I just came on to share stuff because I started finding it and I'm like, wow, nobody's sharing some of this information. And the DLive thing became fun. I didn't expect for it to hang on this long. I really didn't. But I had fun over there. And I have fun over here too. It's just the timing don't line up and I don't do restreams and overstreams. Uh-oh. This video is fixing to try to play. Okay, I think I got it muted. And I can't play music and do things like that. Oh, it's going to come through the mic though, won't it? There we go. If y'all can hear the siren, there's a cop going down the road. I don't know where he's going. Everybody's in their house. Yes, you can drive a car across state lines. You can drive a car dang near anywhere you want right now in the country of the anywhere. Listen, the only people who really know there's a pandemic are the people who read the news and watch a television. I know you can drive from Mississippi to Alabama, from Mississippi to Louisiana, and Mississippi to Tennessee. How about that? I can't guarantee anything else, but I can guarantee you can do that. So there's really nothing going on out there. I mean, I talked to cops. I had a real good conversation with a cop who's a preacher the other day. And I don't know if we left on good terms or if he was questioning anything, but all of this come from, oh, I know where all this was going now. All this come from one place. I had a comment on that video that I mirrored of Richie's where he was talking to the cops and the soldiers. And it said fearmonger. I didn't respond to it. I didn't do anything. I figured I would do it because I can talk. Oh, really? Rhode Island's had some crazy stuff going on up there. Wasn't they the ones that was dragging people out of their homes and sending them back to New York? Now, I can verify from a friend that I've talked to, not about traveling across state lines, but that there was some really crazy action going on in New Jersey. I'm not going to say exactly where, just New Jersey's small, so it could have been, maybe if he ever wants to say it a lot, I'll let it say it, but, I didn't really have that permission. I'm not going to go out there. But, yeah, I have known the Northeast was a lot going on. But we'll get to that. That's all part of it. Okay, you know what? I got a picture, a couple of things I want to show y'all. Let me get back to that fearmonger. That's what was. Hey, Adam, good to see you. And if I missed any names up there, I think I got y'all. But Mike D, Melissa, Endangered, all of y'all coming in, it's good to see you. That video about the cops, the soldiers, what will you do? This is why I brought that up. Let me find my screen share button. There it is. I'll pull the camera up in there. Maybe if I can figure that out. Why do I have all this out of place? There we go. There we go. I usually go on DLive after Mike Morales goes off because I usually try to watch him with his weather show. And I try to go on after Mike. If he's really late coming on, I may already have popped on or decide not to. And sometimes I went on. Anyway, it's usually around 10 o'clock, 10:30 p.m. Central. I'm the late night show. We play a little bit of headbanging music and pray. And it's really kind of a weird thing, but we have a really good family over there. And Look, we get together, we talk about the truth as best as I can see it. We tell people the real truth, that they got to know Jesus Christ. He's the one that's conquered the world. He's going to be our peace in this time of anguish that everybody's going to go through. And then we pray, and then we do some more jamming out. You know, I pick some music that I believe is clean. I'm not against all music and everything like that. We all live in this world, and that's just, we're people, okay? I'm not the legalistic guy. It's not it. I think we're here to draw people to the body of Christ that probably wouldn't find it any other way. So, that being said, that's why I'm here. Now, let me tell you why I posted the video about the cops. At one time, I believed the fact that tribulation, Adam knew the word, thank you, you know how my brain is. At one time, I believed, oh man, when all this goes down, the cops and the soldiers and all that, they're going to go home and they're going to fight for their families. Greenville, Mississippi. All right. I've seen a couple of y'all live in Mississippi. Hey there, my fellow Mississippians. No better time to be a Mississippian right now, I believe. Churchgoers who attended a drive-in service at a church in Greenville, Mississippi were fined $500 for reportedly violating a curfew order from the mayor during Thursday night service at King James Bible Baptist Church. While parishioners sat in their vehicles listening to Pastor Charles Hamilton, Greenville police surrounded the church parking lot. See this picture up here? This is a church having service. He's preaching from the sidewalk. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4 police cars. Okay? Now, let me show you this right here. Y'all remember this? Let me make sure the volume's down. I'm not trying to get no volume and stuff. Y'all remember this? This was in Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Police dragged a man off of a bus for not wearing a mask. On Easter Sunday, in the state of Mississippi, you could go into a convenience store. You could stand within 2 foot of the person in front of you without anybody really saying anything. Hey, Daddy Junkie, good to see you. Nobody really fussed too much about it because they had their beer and their tobacco in their hand and they were waiting in line to get a lottery ticket. Now, if I can remind y'all, last Sunday was Easter. Do you know where you couldn't go last Easter? Well, see, churches aren't a large tax-paying organization, if you know what I mean. But in Mississippi, alcohol, tobacco, and now the new lottery, pay mucho dinero en el taxo money. Okay? Look, Dad, I'm not concerned with the caps and all that stuff in the chat. Not a big deal to me either way. Oh my gosh, they yelled at me. Oh, I can't take the caps. Oh, please make it go away. I need my safe spot. No, that's not me. Nah, not happening. Okay, that's why I mirrored the video. So if any of y'all have seen the comments or whatever, or if you left the comment, fearmonger because I copied that, let me remind you what your police are doing right now. This is a truth. This is a video of cops dragging somebody off a bus, and I know for a fact. Now, the federal court or whatever turned the thing around, took the people's tickets away. But let me tell you what I know about that case. The town alderman went around and took the tag numbers of the people of them cars. And then they went And they got the law, and the law came and wrote tickets to those people in them cars for being in church. Let that sink in a little bit. Oh, they violated a curfew. A curfew for what? The coronavirus can't spread at night? It can only spread, but... Oh my gosh, what kind of flip-flop world are we living in? That's why I mirrored the video, and that's the way that's going to be. I agree with him on that, 100%. I agree with him on 100% of this mostly. Agenda 21's right on track. ID 2020 is what it's all about. Microsoft has been pushing the whole thing, and I've been screaming it since June of last year. I just really didn't expect them to do this so quickly with the virus. This is not what I expected. So I've been sitting back watching it a lot more, and I've been outside gardening and trying to make sure that that I have my own food growing. So, all right, I got the man dragged off the bus. I showed y'all that. Okay, do y'all remember this picture right here from Hubei province, China? Where are our trucks like this? Hey, St. James. Good to see you, buddy. Y'all remember this? Remember? Big trucks spraying huge amounts of alcohol all over China. We're sanitizing the cities twice a day. I'm not going to play this because it's a YouTube video and I'm trying not to get in trouble. Uh-oh. Playing it anyway. Playing it anyway. Pause. That ain't what I wanted to do. Hey, how about that, huh? I can't help it. I constantly touch my face. I'm not... anyway, look. We pressure wash the streets. We sanitize the city. We blow this stuff everywhere. Where are these people in America if it's so bad? Right? Look, there's some more of them. They're just everywhere, blowing this crap everywhere. China is disinfecting entire cities. Does anybody remember this from January? The propaganda of how bad this is going to be coming to America? Well, everybody lock themselves in their houses. Where's this at? Huh? If we're so far ahead of China, how come we're not disinfecting cities? Because there's only about 40% of everybody at home. The other 60% out's conducting their business, driving their beer trucks, delivering the beer to the stores so that people can buy their beer that's a high tax rate. And buy everything else they need anytime. I seen my father this morning. Now, my father's usually kind of I don't really know. He's not awake. But he's really becoming more skeptical in his older age instead of more hard-headed. And I seen him this morning, and I was going off about it. And he said, well, you know what? You may be right. I said, what? He said, I tried to go to my doctor for my foot thing the other day, and they wouldn't let me come. But I could go right up in Lowe's and stand in line with everybody and get everything I needed. No questions asked. He said, if there's a real problem, I couldn't do that. I said, finally, somebody looked at it with some common sense. If there was a real problem, I couldn't walk up to the hospital and pick up prescriptions for my mother. If there was a real problem, I couldn't park my truck downtown, close the door, walk around, do nothing, look at everybody wearing their masks. Have you ever woke up, you left the house, and you wake up? Wait, let me rephrase. Let me start over. You wake up, you leave the house, and all of a sudden you feel like the only sane person in the world that has completely lost its mind. Y'all know the movie I'm talking about? Y'all seen these movies. There's a bunch of them. They Live, Roddy Piper's got these glasses on. He's freaking out because the whole world's crazy except for him. I feel like I'm in that movie everywhere I go. I won't put on a mask. I don't wear gloves. Jesus did not say, blessed are ye who socially distance and self-isolate, for you will protect your own rump from the virus. That is not what the Bible says. It said when he come to the lepers, he went to the lepers and prayed for them, and they were healed. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and rub on people, because you may not have that kind of relationship with the Creator. Don't know if I do or not. But when we isolate, we're saying there's some things there I probably need to study up on before I get into that. You're not supposed to isolate from one another. We are the body of Christ, and we're supposed to commune. That is really where the theory of church kind of come together and the people come together. And then the Greek and Roman structure came into it and ruined everything, and all of these committees and everything else that comes in, and it takes the true meaning of what's supposed to happen with praise and worship. My opinion, kind of strong with those opinions. I think y'all know that. Wow, I'm rambling a lot today. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get it out. Anyway, this was what else was going on. You know, who knows? I think this was all just crap. Oh yeah, check this little thing here out, y'all. Look at this drone. It's got some type of disinfectant in it. How high could that thing fly? I mean, this thing is huge. It's got a gas engine on it. He started it and sent it flying off down the city. Bow! Oh. So, who knows what's going on here? What they're spraying China for? I don't know, unless they had a huge outbreak of the common cold that was killing people. Boom, I say that a lot. And I know why. I know why it's not happening. It's because we don't have that faith. I know we want to have that faith. And I know a lot of us are reaching for that faith. And I think it can be found. There's an old group of men that passed away many years ago that I believe had that type of faith. They had that type of connection to the Father. Excuse me. And I think somewhere in the 1990s, I'm going to tell y'all, the 1990s, there was a great evil in the 1990s, and I lived it. So, trust me, it was strong. And I believe it was unleashed and done a huge damage to the Christian population. And if you don't believe that, look at the churches that are closed right now. President Trump even said it. He ain't said a whole lot I agree with. But President Trump said, there's so many of you Christians, why don't you get together and get what you want? It's because they beat us down and made us weak. A lot of churches scared to lose that tax-free exemption, won't do things. They're under the palm. Well, I got a question right now. How come we can't go into church, shut that door, and if they can push the prayer out of schools and say separation of church and state, they can push the prayer out of the football game and say separation of church and state, how come we can't walk into church, slam the door in the face of the FBI, the local police, and go separation of church and state? Because we're not going to. Now, I know there's people starting to stand up today, and I'm fixing to get to that because they are the ones that I'm doing nothing right now. I'm ranting to a microphone, and maybe some people hear it that stand up and go out and fight, and maybe some people don't. I don't know. I really don't know. What I do know is the people who are going out and they're standing on these around these state buildings talking about put us back to work. This is bull crap. What are y'all doing? I'm proud of those people, and they're doing way more than I am. You hear me? I'm proud of them. This is what I know to do right now. And you know, maybe because I live in this little town and I don't see it on a big level, but if it ever happens here, I used to think I lived in the area where everybody would stand up, but now I don't see that. That's why I play the deal. If you're a cop or you're a soldier, remember, you took that oath to defend that Constitution. We have no constitution right now, people. They have no oath to defend. When FEMA takes over in times of war, and this is what this is, they declared this a time of war, a danger, a pandemic, and war, all in one. They have unleashed a trifecta of federal power that is over the head of the President of the United States. And the American people are loving it in the guise of security and public safety. Yeah, I see that over there. Crush. The world will not be the same. It won't look the same when this is over. The middle-aged. Whew. I feel a lot on the other side, but the middle class, they're going to be brought closer down to the lower class than they ever will the elite. Businesses are going to close. The government's going to pay them off for them and make them think they got a good deal because, the virus that was threatening to wipe out the population of the world was going to destroy their business one way or the other. And here's a little something to help you out along the way, and then you can take this, what is it? Man, my brain just quits working all of a sudden. Uh-oh. Hold on, gotta stop that. Sorry about that. That video just wanted to play and wanted to play. I had to actually stop that. So, anyway, let's move on and see what else is happening. Anyway, that's a question I've had, is where are all of this happening in the United States? It's not happening because it's not real. What's real is the propaganda that we're being fed, and that there is no big problem if you don't watch the news. Now, I want to remind y'all of ID 2020. I've been showing ID 2020 to my DLive group, and I have a YouTube video from way back about ID 2020. They were already putting it in homeless people in Austin, Texas then. In Texas, they call it Smart Pass or Fast Pass or something. But it's a vaccine to the homeless that comes with a tracking chip. And they're making them like it. That's not a, I'm trying to find it. I thought I had it. Well, so much. I have so much open here. I got so much behind. I'll find it though. We'll go to that next and next. Okay, well, maybe I'll find it up and bring it up next time. Anyway, there's a page that you can find on the Texas City Austin website where they go into the Fast Pass program, and you can find the link to the ID 2020 program. And right here, you can go to the ID 2020 program, and I can't blow this up from this image. I'm going to have to try to take it. But if y'all can see this in the picture, in the background, if somebody else wants to go to the ID2020.org Alliance website, I'm going to post that in the chat. Oh, wow, 46 viewers. That's awesome, guys. I appreciate all of y'all watching. I don't look at that number very often. I keep it covered most of the time the way I'm laid out. So that's great. Thank you very much. I tell my wife all the time, I can't believe anybody watches. Pardon me, I have a cough. Imagine that. A person with allergy problems coughing during pollen season in Mississippi. I bet if I went to the doctor, though, I'd be diagnosed with COVID, because I think we all have it. Anyway, you check this out. This is the ID 2020 website. This is their meeting room. And there is this weird thing hanging on the wall over here. And with my eyes, even on a really big screen, it looks like a black raven with a woman hanging under its wings. I don't have a clue what that is, but it looks really freaky and really weird. And I think, well, that probably deserves a second look. So somebody remind me in a stream at some point that I said that, or I'll probably forget. Like you said, I move on day to day. This is kind of really a big part-time gig. And then don't forget about this. This was from October 31st, 2019 from PrincipiaScientific.org. ID 2020 Alliance will combine vaccinations and implantable ID microchips. I put this because of one reason. They put tons of links in their articles to where they get their information as to where most don't. So if you'll go to that article, when you come down, all of these little red words, they're extra links. And there are a ton of links that lead from this to more ID 2020 stuff. Oh, there's that thing right there. It's like a woman hanging up under a buzzard or something. It looks really freaking weird. And the shadow on the back looks like, I don't know, an evil robot with large eyebrows. I don't know. Maybe y'all can figure it out. Huh. Okay. But anyway, and if you want to keep up with the latest news, just in general on what's going on with biometrics from a scientific point of view, not a conspiratorial point of view, get to know biometricupdate.com. This is not a conspiratorial website. This is the science and the technology and them talking back and forth to each other and promoting the technology back and forth to each other for all the biometric stuff that's coming. They're quite proud of it. It's not really hard to find when you learn where to look. So, right now I'm trying to help show y'all where to look a lot of this up at. I've been really busy. I'm not going to get the time to look a lot of stuff up. Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute too. I have a it's hard to talk about this stuff and people not go, "Oh, you're fear-mongering. You're fear-mongering." Well, you know what? I'm not fear-mongering because I'm going home in the end no matter what. But I think we're supposed to fight until the end. We weren't called to roll over and give up. It's just not that way. And I've got some horrible indigestion from the coffee I'm drinking, and I'm trying to keep it down. I want to know if anybody remembers this story from their mainstream news, and how many of y'all actually know anything about it. Now, my D-Live group, they probably are more loyal to the Fallout Shelter than I am at times, because they show up in chat, want to know where I'm at. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes life just happens. Okay, back ready to see. This is from the very conspiratorial justice.gov. This is from the United States Department of Justice. Does any of y'all remember a name, Dr. Charles Lieber? Where Dr. Charles Lieber was the chair of the Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology at Harvard University. He was arrested on the morning of Tuesday, January 28th, 2020, and charged by criminal complaint with one counting of making a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement. Lieber will appear this afternoon before Magistrate Judge Mary Ann B. Bowler in federal court in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, let me tell y'all what Dr. Charles Lieber lied about. Remember, this is one of those Harvard professors probably friends with Dr. David Keith. You know, they probably talk about destroying, fixing the world all the time. Now, listen, according to court documents, since 2008, Dr. Lieber, who has served as the principal investigator of the Lieber Research Group at Harvard University, which specialized in the area of nanoscience, has received more than $15 million in grant funding from the National Institutes of Health and Department of Defense. Now remember, this doctor, whatever's that doctor's name that's doing all the talking for Trump, I can't even remember his name. Wow, that's horrible. Anyway, the little guy that comes out and is the puppet on the string doctor for all of the interviews, hey, Burnout, good to see you. Tara, good to see you. Riker, The Final Frontier, hey, glad to see all of you. Fig Tree Informer, glad you're all here. Believe. Oh, I'm sorry, I get carried away. Anyway, back to Dr. Charles Lieber. Okay. Doctor, whatever that doctor's name is that's running around on the internet everywhere telling all the lies because Fauci, thank you. And because he wrote totally something different in his science journals. Anyway, he was giving this guy $15 million in grant money over those years, right? And also for the Department of Defense. Now, when you are getting grant money from the Department of Defense, they kind of frown on you being involved, I don't know, with, say, Chinese scientific laboratories. These grants require the disclosure of significant foreign financial conflicts of interest, including financial support from foreign governments or foreign entities. Unbeknownst to Harvard University beginning in 2011, Lieber became a strategic scientist at Wuhan University of Technology. Hello. He became a strategic scientist at what? And I literally mean that. What? The Wuhan University of Technology, the WUT, in China, and was a contractual participant in China's 1,000 Talents Plan, which sounds an awful lot like 1,000 Points of Light to me for some reason. The first time I heard that 1,000 Talents Plan, all I could hear was 1,000 Points of Light. Anyway, from in or about 2012 to 2017. Now, he was paid 50,000 US dollars per month, living expenses up to 1 million Chinese yuan, approximately 158,000 US dollars at the time, and awarded him more than 1.5 million to establish a research lab in the Wuhan University of Technology. And he had to work for 9 months out of the year, not less than 9 months a year, by declaring international cooperation projects, cultivating young teachers and PhD students, organizing international conferences, applying for patents, and publishing articles in the name of Wuhan Universal Technology. Wow. Okay, this guy was arrested in January. Has the news brought this out? Have y'all heard about this anywhere else? He lied about being a part of this whatever. Now, how he ties into this whole thing, I don't know, because it's all orchestrated at some level, right? Is this something that the truthers are... I don't know. But it's not something they put out in the mainstream, and I wonder how much Dr. David Keith has in the background that we'll find out about one day like this for all of the stuff going on. Well, let me tell y'all right now, I believe that some people are dying from something. Everybody dies from the flu and the cold every year. As far as numbers go by the CDC and the World Health Organization, can't nobody believe any of those anyway. And they're low for the year if you just figure respiratory problems. I don't know what's coming. I don't think nobody does. But what I do know is they took advantage of a flu season to put every piece in place to be able to lock the country down next time in minutes. minutes. They still letting everything go on. It still keeps some of us kind of happy. I think now that some people are starting to get a little restless, they know at about what point people start to get pissed. They put a couple of governors out there with some really crazy ideas. They know what point people really kind of backed off. They know what point people took it to. People did not stand up like they should have. The British are coming. The British are coming. Well, that's why I call that the British are coming. So I'm telling you, I'm not trying to promote fear. I never have, because we have Christ. But you need to be ready. There's no reason not to have stuff to take care of you and your family. That's all I'm asking. I'm not telling you to be fearful. I'm not telling you to be scared. If you've been a truther for any amount of time and you didn't believe in Agenda 21, I don't know that you're ever going to believe anything a truther ever says. Agenda 21's been the biggest conspiracy theory for 20 years. And if you really want to know the truth of it, all of these conspiracy theories and all of the things that you really want to get some information you can't find on nothing else, it's going to be in the Department of Energy. The Agenda 21, it's all about energy. And yes, just so y'all know, we are energy. Yeah, it's never going to be the same again, y'all. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come through and kill us all. Open your door and shoot you dead. That's not the way it's going to work. It's going to be a slow roll. They're good with it. They are good with it. Hey, I never would have seen them shutting the country down and everybody just walking in their house and being okay. But for a month, that's kind of what happened. Enough people went in for that to happen. Jesus told the truth and they hated him for it. Yep. So, here's what I will tell you. John 16:33. I have overcome the world. You're going to have tribulations. And I went over that word with the groups before, tribulations. Looked it up. It's a bad word. Everybody, whether you know Christ or whether you don't, are going to go through tribulations. The difference is I have an answer. I have a way from peace. I have help. I have strength in knowing that I have better things to come. I am not a human having a spiritual existence. I am a spirit having a human experience. And when this is over, I will go home to my Father. And after what I've been through, I pray He lets me come back a warrior for Him. Oh, wow. Okay. The next one. There was a woman arrested on the same day. According to the indictment, Yi is a lieutenant of the People's Liberation Army. That's the Chinese army. The Armed Forces of the People's Republic of China and member of the Chinese Communist Party. On her J-1 visa application, she falsely identified herself as a student and lied about her ongoing military service at the National University of Defense Technology, a top military academy directed by the CCP. It is further alleged that while studying at Boston University's Department of Physics, Chemistry, and Biomedical Engineering from October 2017 to April 2019, Yi continued to work as a PLA lieutenant, completing numerous assignments from PLA officers, such as conducting research, assessing U.S. military websites. Okay, anyway, they put all this out. She's back in China. Now, the reason I bring this stuff up is because the indictments have come out. They've been federally indicted. And this guy here, he was just at the airport caught with 21 vials of biological agent trying to go back home to China. You get where I'm going with that? This wasn't put in the mainstream news. Love you too, brother. Have a great night. Always in my prayers. Glad I got to hang out with you for a few minutes on here anyway. So, this was going on in January, and in the background, they have now been indicted. But we're not seeing anything about that. Not at all. Let's see, what else was up here? Oh, yeah. And what is FEMA doing now? Well, You know, back months ago, when Fox News came out and said, "Are you prepared if your power went out for 6 months?" And I come on and ask everybody, "Are you prepared for if your power went out on 6 months?" Well, I took you to FEMA and I showed you this website right here. This was the 6 month FEMA checklist website. It is now gone. They have done away with it. What have they replaced it with? They have replaced it with, check this out. Where'd it go? Crap, I lost it again. There it is. The coronavirus rumor control. Hey, she's at 717. What's your prob? Okay. Do your part to stop the spread of rumors by doing 3 easy things. Find trusted sources of information. Well, I just showed you some trusted sources of information called the Department of Justice. If they're not trustworthy, we're done, and we know that they're not trustworthy and we're done. I don't know why I even said that, but for what the reasons of what we're doing, it's the best I can give you for some documentation, okay? It's the best I can do. That they arrested people for this crazy crap and nobody got told about it. I share the information from that trusted source and I'm the nutbag. Discourage others from sharing information from unverified sources. I try to get people to not watch CNN, Fox, ABC, or look at Facebook, but that's all they'll do. So, like I said, I woke up in a movie and the whole freaking world around me has gone nuts. Anyway, the rumor is, should I stock up on food and supplies? You know, the same food and supplies that FEMA said you should have 6 months worth of in case the power went out. Now says, please only buy what your family needs for a week. Buying weeks or months of supplies in advance leads to shortages and makes it difficult for other families to take care of themselves. Consumer demand has been exceptionally high, especially for groceries, cleaning supplies, and healthcare products. Supply chains haven't been disrupted, but stores need time to restock. And quite frankly, nobody here really has a clue what we're doing, so we're just trying to winging it and playing it by ear. This page could be gone tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. That's what they're saying. It may not be printed that way, but that's what they're saying. They changing it. And that's my point. I'm not trying to say be scared, but dadgummit, the people, we deserve to at least hear a truth. Live in a truth. No, don't eat the Walmart meat. God know that. Stay away from the Walmart meat. It is not good for you. Yeah, I've heard about some protests. I'm gonna try to get back in the news. Like I said, y'all, we're building a lot bigger garden than normal. I have 3 or 4 different places that I'm trying to get ready because, listen, even though I don't come on here and scream run for the hills, I have enacted my plan. I believe the next 12 months could be really tight. But it's hard to scream run for the hills when I know a lot of y'all live in an apartment. And you can't. Some of you can't pull that off. And as bad as it sucks, I know that's just the reality. And with that being the reality, I pray for every one of y'all the best I can. But I've been trying to make my plan for a family for a long time, and it's more than one people. And if I feel like we're going to need to go to the woods, I have to kind of have that ready. And with all that happening, the streaming has kind of took a little bit of a back door. And with everything else I do, it fell in its line, and now maybe it'll come back in a little bit. So, anyway. Now is the point where if any of y'all have anything that you would like to request prayer for, I would like to pray with y'all. I really wanted to get in here Thursday because I heard that Prayer Thursday had become a thing, and that was the day I ended up having to deal with some stuff with my mother. Like I say, she lives in an assisted living place where I work, and some things came up I had to handle, and I just couldn't make it in and stream and do the things I had to do. Kind of a rough day. But if we continually pray for the Holy Spirit's peace with the people, that they understand what's going on, and that we take it against the government, not against each other. I heard that. And I just want to make sure everybody knows where I stand. Not to fear, but we still need to be ready to protect, and we need to be ready to take care of whoever. When I say the British are coming, that's whoever's trying to come take whatever's yours. It's up and down, love pugs, and it's hard for me to decide to bring her here because I live so far out in the sticks, and she's so close to medical help if it's really necessary. The ambulances will take them to the hospital if it's really bad. It's just a rough time on everybody. Like I say, when I tell y'all these things about it's not real and all this, I'm affected by it in real ways. I'm affected by it by my mother in real ways. It's hard to deal with because of her living in that type of facility and having to deal with their bylaws and rules. And then I work there, so I can't just go tell them to get, I get along with most of these people. Yeah. I got a lot of information that I've come across lately on the chemtrails and actually how they use them to harvest biologicals out of the air. And hopefully we'll start getting this YouTube thing about this time in the evening going on right now. And I can do that and do D-Live at night. Because I'm not going to do them together. It takes away one from the other, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll invite you all tonight to join us at D-Live after Mike Morales. If he's not on, join us at about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. If he don't come on, if he does, after his show. And hopefully we'll have a good time. I'm going to say a prayer here. Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together in this wonderful time of fellowship and joy, and in the times that we're dealing, to be able to laugh and cut up and just see the hypocrisy and the things that are going on. I love you and I thank you, and I can't believe I've been blessed as well as I have, and I thank you for it for whatever reason it's happened. Father, anybody that has anything on their hearts in the chat, I pray that you see it, you hear it, you know it, and that you touch them. Father, I pray for our country and for the world right now, that for all the people affected by the spiritual battle that we're fighting from the wickedness in the high places, that you'll cover all of your children, even the ones that don't believe. Keep them safe, sane, and allow us to realize the true enemy we fight and not let us turn it against each other. Now is not the time for that. Because if we can unify, we can still win. And I thank you for all that you do for all of us. We're all blessed. I thank you for your son that came, took the beating, took the hanging, died on the cross, fought Satan for the keys to death, hell, and the grave, and through your power resurrected 3 days later and returned to you. And it's in his precious name that I pray. All right, everybody. I think for a time back I got a lot of crap off my mind, and it was actually very, very, very probably schizo, ADD type conversation, but I've had a lot building up. Oh, Love Pugs, Believe, She's It, CDHL, Data Junkie, y'all still hanging out over there. Mia Vengeance. Thank you, Mia. Much love to you as well. Much love to all of you guys. I appreciate you all so much. Melissa A., The Final Frontier, Headley Man. Yeah, I think I'm fixing to go back out here. I think my wife and them, they're still planting some potatoes in the in some bags out here. And I'm going to go see if I got anything to be pointed out for me to do. And I think I might make me a little sandwich, and we'll close everything out of the computer now that I've finally done this here. And we're going to start anew and see what's happening in the news today and all that type of stuff. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all for coming, hanging out, and hopefully I'll be back on tomorrow. Hard for me to make promises with everything going on right now, but maybe I'll come rant. I'll see y'all tonight on. I'll be at Mike's on D Live, probably watching, while I'm probably trying to thrash together a D Live stream. So until tonight, I love you all. God bless you, and have a great evening.